It would do a lot of damage.
To your carpets.
And to my nightmares? I don't know. It's kind of shaky.
It will be very interesting seeing how this bot lane matchup goes, because there is a lot of damage potential inside that Draven Braum bot lane, with Braum able to get those slows off so Draven can hit multiple of his empowered axes. Fortunately, Lulu will relatively shortly be able to pick up her basic transmutation spell, where she turns the enemy into a helpless creature for a few moments, and that will actually enable them to disengage from trades where the Draven would otherwise be attacking them furiously with those spinning axes.
Right. Did she turn him into a seal in the skin?
I think so, actually.
Okay. You say seals are cute. I can handle a seal, but a dog barfing, that really is... You have no idea what the picture is in my mind right now. Oh, but looks like Cogmaw got quite a bit of damage on Draven there. He's down.
He definitely seems to have gotten weakened, caught out without his support nearby to block and get that extra slow and damage.
All right, and it looks like Elise is getting ready to try and gank. Rumble's trying to bait it out, but unfortunately his lane is pushing. Oh, and Shen goes ahead, dashes, but he moves right out of the way as the cocoon comes through, and he's able to get out. Ivern goes ahead and throws his Q down on Braum, but Ivern goes ahead and gets stunned by Braum.
Landing solid amounts of damage, and Ivern, while weakened, does walk away free, and as he's the jungler and has very low costs for taking his camp, he can easily continue on his merry way, either heading back to base or continuing to farm his jungle, whereas the bot lane, with his presence, has been severely affected and greatly improved for the Hokages.
Oh, and it looks like Ivern actually is going ahead and invading. He just took the Grump camp, so he's moving around trying to figure out what he wants to do next, but Elise also counter invaded as well. I'm not sure if she got anything in particular. Maybe.
Both of them collapsing mid. Elise shows up first. Ivern is here for the counter gank, gets the shield off, and reduces the damage, essentially cutting out any significant advantage that would have been gained by that Elise gank. Just doing exactly what Ivern excels at, with that powerful support tool when he's there to stop the enemy team from gank.
And something I just noticed, I've never actually... I don't play too much Shen. So I'm trying to figure out, is it normal for a Shen to start off with 3 rejuvenation beads?
From my experience, it is not very common, but this Shen also is very focused on making sure he has the ability to continually go aggro against this Rumble. Rumble has burnt his pot already, whereas Shen, with his 3 rejuvenation beads, that would have, if I'm correct in my estimations, eaten up basically all of his gold from the first start. So
yeah.
He seems very focused on making sure that he can stay in lane and deal with the pressure of this guy and continue to bully him, despite how Rumble is known for his extremely potent early game power.
Yeah, actually, I've never even thought about that type of start before. That might be kind of interesting to try with another tanky top.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, Shen also has a lot of damage to back it up, too. With his empowered Qs, he is able to land % health damage, which even against someone that isn't as durable as, you know, like Rumble, who is not naturally a tank, still does very solid damage, even early game, with that just consistent damage on autos. However, Rumble does usually win the trades overall, but the rejuvenation beads get Shen back up faster and ready to trade.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be doing a lot of work, and it kind of does, like 3 rejuvenation beads kind of does seem a little worth in terms of not necessarily taking health potions in that situation, because if you're going to heal naturally, what's the point in taking the extra stuff?
Exactly.
So it looks like Kog'Maw's going to go ahead and try and go in a little bit, but they back out. Ivern was there, but he was unable to move in fast enough to get everyone within attack range really quick. Looks like Elise is going after Vlad, and Elise hits him pretty hard. Shen is coming through ulting, and it looks like they missed. Oh, but the brand ult is bouncing back and forth. It looks like Vlad might have gotten out. and it looks like everyone's going to be okay. We are still at neutral kills, 6 minutes and 50 seconds into this game.
And if I'm remembering correctly, at this point, the first blood gold has reached its maximum value, meaning that whoever gets this kill is going to be reaping a lot of rewards as far as gold goes from it. And it has been several very near-death trades, especially around mid lane. And I wouldn't be surprised if currently Brand ult and Vladimir ult are down, and whichever jungler gets off a more effective gank next, I think is going to be the jungler that is going to be the one on the winning team for First Blood.
Right. Also, looks like Draven and Kog'Maw have gone back for their first buys. Kog'Maw is going with his standard Blade of the Ruined King comp, while it looks like Draven might either be going for the Bloodthirster start. It looks like he started off with his BF sword and a longsword. Chances are that longsword is going to turn into a Vamp Scepter to kind of keep him living as he starts his Draven work.
Yeah, Draven is someone who definitely needs these kills in order to thrive. And while mid lane is the most likely candidate for First Blood, I wouldn't be surprised if Elise tries to make something happen bot. She has not yet ganked bot, who is currently going and actually beating the Hokages bot lane, who has received ganks and additional pressure, which means that a solid gank from Elise, especially if she is able to circumvent their ward line and get behind them, could end up swinging the tide of that bot lane massively in favor of NAEVI.
And just to kind of show you how serious Shen is up top, he has 3 rejuvenation beads, he has the refillable potion, and he also has a Spectre's Cowl now.
Yeah, he is all about keeping these trades going and making sure that when his taunt is up, he is ready to make that trade happen all over again.
Yeah, and it looks like we have a TP coming in. Kog'Maw goes ahead and gets ulted by Braum, and it looks like Rumble comes through with his ult and is able to get a kill. First blood on Kog'Maw, and Draven cashes out on Lulu.
That's going to be a huge benefit in gold, and you can see from the gold numbers, the CS overall slight leads in different lanes, but overall relatively even. But that first blood gold, plus the amount of gold the Draven got, ends up sending over a 2k difference in the gold values. That was an incredibly effective play and a teleport by that Rumble in order to secure that massive advantage for the team.
You're saying, unfortunately, Shen was unable to get down there to kind of help with that. But yeah, that was beautifully played by Team NAEVI, and they're definitely in a good spot right now, I think. So, yeah, it looks like Draven went ahead and did buy his Vamp Scepter. It looks like he's also bought another Longsword. So he's definitely going with his Bloodthirster route. Kog'Maw is still working on his Blade of the Ruined King parts. He has 2 daggers now, so it's going to be a little slower now because he has to be a little more defensive playing against Draven, because Draven pretty much can go in whenever he wants now. Like at this point, Kog'Maw's not going to be able to stop him. So it looks like Ivern might need to come back down to bot to try and help equalize what's going on down there, but there's no guarantee that he might actually come down there. He might actually go help Shen, considering Shen pretty much has the ability to poke and fight Rumble whenever he wants based off his build. It might be better to try and help someone else get ahead. That way there's a bigger shield when it comes down to later on in the game.
One thing to note is that Vlad very, very frequently in this mid lane matchup has to keep on burning his blood pool. That has a very high current health cost, as well as a very long cooldown, meaning it is a spell that you do not want to burn unless you have to. But the consistent Qs that are coming out of Brand rather, make it so he has to be constantly using this in order to prevent bad trades from happening.
And it looks like Braum takes a significant amount of damage. He's able to get out though, and Daisy comes just a second too late. Had he came out as soon as they went in on Braum. Chances are they probably would have got that kill, but came out a little too late, and now Daisy's kind of pushing the lane a little bit for them.
Braum Flash was burned in that, and first tower is still up. Draven might not feel comfortable staying around, especially with Daisy. Nope, it looks like Ivern is backing up, and we are seeing just a little bit of trades going for their bot lane in their favor, trying to get a little bit of an advantage while that Braum is still out of lane. Seems that they are going very hard for this tower, trying to get that first tower gold, but they're not quite able to pick it up. Shen top lane.
This is impossible for Rumble to do anything about. Like, the amount of MR that the Shen currently has, along with the regeneration, is too much.
Shen able to finish it up, but Elise is coming up. It doesn't look like she's going to be able to hit it. Meanwhile, bot lane, solid push. And Elise doing a turret dive. Will she be able to get it? She has dived too deep. Her spiders tried to get him, but she had to flash out from under the turret in order to keep herself alive. Shen and her both about the same level of health. He goes for it, gets the taunt. Nice. Turret finishes the kill, and that is another kill under Shen's belt. He is 2-0, and he is about to get tanky.
I'm going to say he throws down a little disrespect at the end of that with his rank mastery emote.
That is true. That is
true. But yeah,
yeah,
no, that is exactly what Shen was trying to do, I think. He definitely built super tanky. He definitely built a lot of regeneration. Unfortunately for Team NAEVI, their jungler and their top laner are both
attack quickly by the Vlad, and it's not quite enough to finish the Brand. He flashed and ulted and Q'd to try to secure that kill, but it was just not quite enough, and the Brand survived with a little bit less than 100 health.
Yes, but yeah, the way that he's building right now he has a Spirit's Visage. He's not going to lose against Rumble now. Like, it's not going to happen anytime soon.
That is completely true. Plus, with 3 members of their team being magic damage, Rumble, Elise, Brand, that is so much tank potential that Shen now has. And with the percent health damage that the Brand has on his ult, it's still negating so much of that because it's all magic damage based.
Right, and it looks like there's actually a lane swap going on right now. I think they want to get all of their gold on Kog'Maw as much as they can. So they sent him up top so he can try and get that tower, and once he gets that tower, he gets the extra gold for being in the area. So even though Kog'Maw may have died earlier, he has his Blade of the Ruined King now. They're going to work probably on Runan's Hurricane for the next item, and they're going to try and get him his attack speed and a little more crit damage afterwards so that when he decides to open up, he's going to open up. It also looks like blue team's rotating towards top. Braum gets caught by Ivern out top, but it looks like the Hokages are in a horrible situation here. Rumble throws down his ult, and as a result, Braum is able to kill Ivern, Rumble's able to kill Lulu, Brand is able to take down Shen, and it's not looking so great for the Hokages at this point. It looks like they might lose top tower as only Kog'Maw is up or left at top right now.
That was a huge play. 3 kills for absolutely nothing back for NAEVI. Or the Hokages were able to completely decimate NAEVI in that fight. Or, sorry, other way around. NAEVI was able to completely decimate Hokage in that fight. And the amount of push and pressure they got off that was incredible. The game was just even just a few seconds before. But with that, they end up skyrocketing to about a 3K lead.
Yeah, it all goes to show you that maneuvering around a 3D map is way more important than you think.
Yeah, with the maneuvering around and the fact that they were able to get picks with that Rumble ult, the slow on that ult, whereas it's not its main effect or is noticed as much as its damage, is still just as important to the overall contribution it has. When the entire team is taking this damage and can't get out, it ruins the enemy team's ability to escape or even protect the Kog'Maw in that situation.
Also, something I didn't completely even think of, Rumble and Braum. Braum's ult, along with Rumble's ult, that's going to be horrible to try and move through, especially in a situation where Kog'Maw doesn't actually have as much maneuverability to get out of a ult situation in either of those instances. So I think that Navy might have actually considered that when they were building their team comp. It's actually kind of interesting considering the Braum was actually their last pick.
Yeah.
So they first picked Rumble, so they